So here are 6 questions that you must ask during any software developer interview. By getting answers to these questions, you can have a better idea on if the company is good for you or not. So the first that I like to ask is always the team dynamic, specifically when it regards contractors and the number of contractors on the team. So why would I ask about contractors? Well, for any development team, it's a high chance that there's going to be at least one contractor. But contractors can kind of give a different vibe to the team. If I got hired for a company and I'm working with a lot of contractors, there's a different mentality that contractors have. They look at the company as a client. They want to focus on getting their work done and they move on to the next task. While I'll be working for the company directly, so my mindset may be to have a more long-term view, a more invested interest into the company. And this can cause some problems, specifically regarding teamwork and communication. I've worked with a lot of contractors and some of them were very cool, but a lot of them did not really care about working with the team, not really working together, not really talking, which that can make it pretty hard for you when you start. I had a job to where I came into the team as a full-time developer, but the rest of the team was all contractors. And I had a lot of trouble getting up to speed to learn how different things were built, to learn the architecture behind different things. And it was a struggle. And it was really just because of the communication. So always ask how many contractors on the team and how well the team works together between the contractors and the full-time employees. The next is to ask the culture of the team. Now, to be honest, when you ask this question, a lot of people will make it seem like every team is just amazing. Like, oh, everybody gets along, everybody jokes, and that may be true and it may not be. But when you're interviewing with somebody, they're gonna make it seem like this is the most amazing company, the most amazing team in the world. So try your best to get a sense on if whoever you're interviewing with, if they're being honest or if they're kind of inflating the benefits of working for that company. But it's a good idea to ask about the culture of the team to see if you even fit in with that team, because your team is who you're gonna be working with on a day-to-day basis. The company may be amazing, but if you don't like working with your team, you will be miserable. So ask about the team, ask about the culture, ask if the team gets along together, if they talk a lot, and if they communicate a lot. Because if they do, then you'll have a way more enjoyable time working for that company. Then you can ask about the pipeline of projects. It's a good idea to ask about the pipeline of projects so you can know what you may be working on when you first get started. If it seems like the team is very busy, then that means you'll be exposed to a lot of different things and you'll probably learn a lot faster once you actually start. But if it doesn't seem like they have a big backlog of projects, either they're not very good at intaking projects and you're gonna be bored and it's gonna be very slow, or they might not be organized. And both of those are bad things. So you can specifically ask, if you were to get hired, what would be the first project that you would probably be working on? And even then, if they tell you what you'll be working on, you can start trying to get familiar with the concept of it, so if you do get hired, you can hit the ground running. Then you can ask if there's any ongoing training or education for developers. Now, I like to ask this question not specifically to make sure that they're training me or giving me other opportunities to be trained, but it's more to get a sense on how they view the development team. Because any company that invests into training for the development team, they really value the development team and they want them to grow. Because you have some companies that look at the development team as just order takers. We get the stories in for the sprint, we knock out the stories, and then you don't get a thank you at all. So you ask this question to see if they view the development team as something that they want to build up and enhance over time. Then you can ask, what's the onboarding process for new developers? If they don't have an onboarding process for new team members, that is a huge red flag, because you're going to be expected to come into the job and start producing from day one without much direction and not much understanding of where to go or where to start. You can ask, is there any kind of documentation or any kind of paired programming or anything that you'll be involved in when you first start your job? You want to ask this in a way to where it comes off as you just want to make sure that you can start producing once you start the job. But you're really asking to see how organized the team is and if they really do care about new people that are coming onto the team. Because any successful company knows that the first 2 to 3 months for a new hire is extremely important on how they view the rest of their time at that company. And they want to make it as enjoyable and as smooth as possible. So if they don't have any type of onboarding, any type of documentation, any kind of help for you to get up to speed when you start your job, that's a big red flag. Then you can ask, if you were to get hired, what would a successful hire look like to the hiring manager? Or in other words, what would you need to accomplish in that first year for them to be happy that they hired you? This is a great question to ask because it's already showing that you want this job and you feel confident that you can get this job. But you're not just concerned about getting the job and getting a paycheck. You're actually concerned about being a valuable employee and producing as well. Most times you'll get some kind of general response like, like delivering on time, working with the team, a lot of general stuff. But the main reason that you're asking is really to help yourself to look better in the interviewer's eyes and not really to get some secret information. Because we all know if you deliver on time and you do good work, you're going to be considered a successful hire. So that's what I have for you in this video. If you like the video, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this.